We're on Scorpio. Okay, so hopefully Frank is good until, you know, we're all finished. If he's not, so sorry about that. Sorry. That's weird. I just don't understand this some days. I'm just like, what? Like, why is this happening? All right. Let's go into our Scorpio. We're going into Scorpio single AF. What is it that we have on our side? What is helping us to gain access to a relationship or when it is time, and what isn't? And overall, what we need to work on as far as being single AF and not wanting to be single AF. Okay? This is Scorpio's zodiac sign, and this is their reading. That is weird. Okay. All right. So what is working for you here as far as being single, Scorpio, but yet you're trying to draw into that relationship stuff is doing things in moderation. So not overdoing shit and just kind of knowing when enough's enough. Especially like in a time like this, like we don't like people overly aggressive with us. We don't like people up in our business either. We don't like it. It throws a red flag. So that is something that you're doing that is working for you. Something that's not really working for you at the moment is the fact that you are in a place where you're really trying to reach for things. You're trying to level up, maybe at your job, you're trying to level up just like in life in general, maybe spiritually. So at this moment, this is a good time to just kind of take for yourself and maybe not be in that relationship just yet. So that is something that is just not quite working for you at the moment. It's not to say that it won't, but it's just in a place, a delicate place. Okay. Something that you definitely need to work on if you're wanting to gain access to a relationship is the fact that you need to do self-care. You need to do one-on-ones with, Scorpio. Like, what is it that you need to do? Self-care, take care of yourself, work out. You need to really get into that place. Especially with Scorpio, y'all need that self-care. Y'all need an outlet. So find that. That is definitely something that you need to work on. And just remember that your goals are super attainable. That is what you're doing at the moment. You're kind of reaching for the star, reaching for the moon, and you don't want to disturb that by adding another individual to the, playbook. So just check in with yourself, do some self-care, and keep maintaining that so that you can get into a relationship status. Because that is what you want, isn't it? And if you're single AF and those things are kind of not on your side, then you need to work on them. All right, so let's go on. What do we got? Sagittarius. We are going to do your single AF, and we're going to figure out what's working for you as far as maybe gaining access to a relationship status or something that might not be working for you, and overall kind of what you could do to maybe get, into a place where you're good with getting into a relationship. Because we single AF, that's why. All right. Okay, so what's working for you looking like engaging into your more divine? You're kind of trying to crack into the spiritual of things. Welcome. You are definitely trying to gain access to a higher purpose or a higher reason. And you're always asking questions like, why? What is the purpose of this? Where are we? Why are we this? So those are things that are actually working for you as far as like gaining access to a relationship. Okay. So Sagittarius, you engaging in a higher purpose or a higher reason is definitely putting you in a place where you're in a certain vibrancy. Excuse me. Super. I can't even talk today. Super great with the frequency. So hopefully he will match up with somebody. Okay. I meant vibration. I don't even know what I said. Vibrancy. Okay. That's not what I meant. All right. What doesn't work here is the fact that you actually try to shade yourself away. So you try to draw your light in, or you try to like peel back so that other people can, be a little bit brighter, or all these cool people around. So you draw yourself in. Well, don't do that. Stop doing that. You're making them cool by doing that. So stop doing that, because that is really not on your side as far as gaining access to a relationship. Nobody wants to date the guy or the girl that draws their light in because there's cool people around. Okay. So stop fucking doing that. It's weird. Okay. We're going to find out what you need to work on. Okay, so you building something is going to have to start at the bottom or the foundation, solid ground, something really concrete, or something not so shaky, or something that doesn't sink and you sink down into it. So when you build a house, you build it from the ground up, but it's solid and it's, got, a frame and a skeleton. You really need to pull back and know that that's where a relationship needs to start with Sagittarius. So you definitely need to start with some sort of friendship. You need good bones to a relationship. And that is something you need to work on as far as when you are working towards a relationship. Don't just jump in. Don't just think that, there's already solid ground there, because that ground's already been, dug up and tore up and ripped out. So don't be doing that, because you build a house on some shaky ass ground, it's gonna collapse. Okay. Pretty much everything else does too. Okay. So we're gonna move on. We're going to move to Capricorn, single AF. If you're a Capricorn single AF, we're going to do this reading. Remember to go ahead and check out Hangman Tarot on YouTube channel. Subscribe, hit that bell, and you will get notifications from me and all your future readings you will not miss. Okay. If you buy a personal reading, or if you subscribe today, you will get a free short and sweet personal reading as a thank you from me to you. All right, we're going to start with Capricorn, single AF. Find out what's working for you here, what is not working for you, and what we could overall work on. Okay, so something that does work for you is the fact that you take your time. You don't just pour everything out into one sitting, especially if you're on a date. You take your time. You have moderation to things. You make things minimal. So you don't overly, obsess. You don't overly, get ahead of yourself when it comes to relationships. That's on your side. Something that is not on your side is the fact that you are not looking forward. So you're not even like looking forward to things. You're not even looking forward to the fact that you're even on maybe a date. And I'm feeling like you're just like not quite ready to date. And that's fine, because that's you kind of not looking forward to the situation or to the date in general. And overall, needing to work on something specifically overall, as far as like trying to be in a relationship or maintain a relationship, is the fact that you think things through. So this is something that you really need to stay heavily with. It's super important for you. Okay. One focus at a time. Don't get too crazy. Don't get too carried away, because you like to make yourself busy bee. You don't want to be a busy bee, because that lacks focus. That lacks, when you're manifesting something, you want it to be one or two things. You don't want to like overly overhaul things, and then you just have a bunch of shitty, abundances. All these abundances of things are lacking. You just don't want to overdo it, okay? Because if you overdo it, you're going to have a lot of things, yes, but they're not going to be like 100% made. If you have one or two things, these things are going to be made lovingly. Okay, I guess that's another way to describe it. I'm not tuned in today. Okay, it's just a day. It's just a day. My dogs needed to go out 12 times. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, it'll be okay. All right, let's go to Aquarius, single AF. What do you need to work on? What are some things that are working for you already? And overall, what can we do as far as gaining access to a relationship? So what's working for you is the fact that you actually look for, you're not expecting everything to be perfect, basically. So you're not like looking for all this beautiful, all these beautiful diamonds. You understand that the diamonds, that isn't just the treasure. Like you understand that the treasure is deep in the thick of it, like in the deepest, darkest part of the ocean, in the deepest, darkest part of the pond, in the mud. There could be flowers, there could be jewels, there could be treasures, but those things are only found within the shadow, within the dark. And you're very much accepting of that. You're in a really good place as far as accepting and acknowledging and understanding people and their shadow. Not so much the fact that they have to be 100% perfect. And what's not working out here for you is the fact that you're not accepting your flaws or your disappointments in a graceful manner. So that is something that you could definitely work on. And it is something that you should work on no matter what as a human being, because even the shadows of another individual, you're saying that those things are beautiful, but like, what about you? Like, you need to make sure that you're accepting things in a graceful manner for your own self. Don't just deliver that out to others and not give it to yourself. Like, what are you thinking? Okay, sorry. I was being judgy. I'm judging you. Sorry. Okay. So overall, you need to work on this card's indicating that you need to accept things that are over. So when there's a relationship and it's over, or the date and it's over, or, maybe your date passed out and that's the end of the date, you need to accept it. Maybe your date moved on, was like, I don't want to keep dating. And they ghosted you. You need to accept the fact that this died, that this relationship is no longer. Because if you keep yourself stuck in that place, you're literally going to be stuck there. How would you have some space to move forward? You won't. You're just going to sit there looking like a willy-nilly waiting for your ghost. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's my advice. Don't do that. That is what you need to work on now. You need to quit acting like things are going to work out, because they ain't. If they showing all the red flags, they showing all the signs, get your ass up and get yourself into a different situation, because that one is not the one, honey. Okay? So accept it. Move on. Even if you were to move on, they could run after you and catch up. Maybe that's the one. But today, if they ghost, night-night. Say bye. I'm not doing you. We ain't doing this. Relationship? No. Void. Null and void. All right. Let's move over to Pisces. This is single AF. Let's find out, Pisces, what's working for you as far as like trying to gain access to a relationship, and what could be working against you, and what is overall something that you need to work on as far as like when you're in a relationship, right before it. How are we going to get there? Let's find out for Pisces. Okay. Something that is working for you, Pisces, is the fact that you have a bunch of things going on that are challenging. You have all of these things going on in your life, life experiences, challenges. Maybe they're universal, maybe they're not. Maybe you're the only one in the world who goes through them, but you go through them, you face them, and that is the best thing for you, is the fact that you acknowledge the situation and you move forward. Because if you were to not do that, you would be stunted by that heaviness. I mean, it really globs on. And then, the relationship that you gain access to might be a mirror image. And then you'd be ending up with, a dark twin shadow of some kind. I don't know, but don't be doing that. So that is something that is working for you. It's helping you to gear you towards that relationship, is the fact that you face all adversities, all challenges. You're like, come on, I got this. I got you. You need to stop trying to leave the situation. So I get it. People are annoying. They're scary. They're frightening. They're upsetting. They're too jolly, or they're too happy, or whatever it might be. Stop running away. Like, deal with it. Don't retreat. Don't be like, meh. Like, stay in the conversation. Stay in the relationship until you say, I'm going to leave because this isn't working because you're weird and I don't. So I'm going to go and we're not dating anymore. That's all you need to do. Stop running from the situation, because, you're dealing with your adversities. You're dealing with your challenges. That should be in the bag too. Like, don't just ghost. Like, don't leave like that. Just own up to what it is and move on with your life. You'd be better for it. I promise. It would help. Okay. Working on knowing there's a truth, knowing that there's an honesty here, and reflecting on it. So there is a truth in the situation when you're in a relationship, or you're gearing towards that relationship, especially when you want to run away from shit. This is for sure something you'll need to work on, is reflecting on the actual facts. There's some logic here, okay? And you cannot just run away from things and be like, oh yeah, it was really rad. No, well, fucking wasn't. Like, why don't you own the truth of it? It sucked. You ran off. You ghosted. So Pisces, get your ass back into that weirdness. Wherever you're uncomfortable, stay in it. Don't run from it. And reflect on the logic, the big picture. Don't just jump on out of there. Like, that's terrifying for the other person, and terrifying for you later on when you feel nothing but guilt for it and you don't know why. Don't put that inside yourself. I mean, if they crazy and they're after you with like a butcher knife, of course, run. But I wouldn't advise dating anybody who chases you with a butcher knife in the first place. And I think you would know better anyway. Okay, so bottom line, you really need to work on the fact that there's a whole picture, not to just run off in a situation, because you're not seeing the whole picture, because you're running off and you're not giving it a chance. But you're really good at facing adversity. So just face the adversity in the relationship, even if it's, 2 days in. Be a nice gal or a guy and just, do the right thing. Okay. All right. So that is the end of single AF. Again, go ahead and check out Hangman Hangman Tarot YouTube channel. Hit subscribe, hit the bell so that you can come back for all your notifications and you can not miss out on any of your readings. And then go check out all the social media links. We've got TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you name it. I'm doing it. Again, I am Jordan and I am Hangman Tarot and I am your tarot reader whenever you come back here. Okay. So I'm going to get lost. I'm going to go find something to do. Looks like it's nice and cold out again. So I'm going to go not enjoy that. So, all right. Bye-bye.